During these spring months, we tend to see more wet weather, and that can have an adverse effect on our home. So today we have Rob from Everdry Waterproofing with advice on what to watch out for and how they can help and make a big difference. Rob, it is always a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here and see you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So when we have issues in our home, oftentimes it can be very hard to spot. So if we do have moisture and water in our basement and crawl spaces, how can we know? How do we detect that?
The first thing you want to kind of keep an eye out for is, cracks in the walls or floor that would show some kind of movement. If you get a musty odor, that's typically a sign that there's mold present. As the water penetrates the foundation, if you're seeing water on the inside, it's already inside and it's contaminated, so you want to get that looked at right away. But you can look for dark spots, white powder on the walls or floor, heaving of the floor, cracks in the wall like this. You'll see some movement at times. Mold basically comes, there's thousands of kinds of mold. You want to keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, we're seeing some photos here on the screen. These are actual customers, actual homes of basements and crawl spaces that you've worked on. Oftentimes when you get the call, it's to that point because people can't recognize when there's an issue like this right at the beginning.
Yes, I always recommend, make sure your pumps are working, make sure your gutters are free and flowing, and keep an eye on that. But yeah, you definitely want to look for the signs. And again, the first thing you'll notice is a smell. Once you notice that smell, you should get it looked at. This time of year especially, the ground gets saturated, the water table comes up, and it works its way in through your foundation.
Yeah, so let's talk about Everdry Waterproofing and exactly what you do and what makes you different and stand out from the others.
We are a full-service waterproofing company, so we do whatever it takes to solve your different situations. There are 4 ways that moisture enters, and that's wall, floor, footing, and in the air, and we address all of them. We have interior drainage, exterior drainage, and a combination of the two along with ventilation to keep the air moving.
Yeah, so you've seen hundreds and hundreds of homes all across the state of Michigan. So what have you seen is the most effective way to waterproof someone's basement or home?
Honestly, I'm a little partial to our system, but it's a combination of an inside and outside. You want to stop the water before it gets to the walls and before it gets to floor level. A lot of people, a good way to give you a picture vision is if you have a leaky roof, you don't put the shingles on the inside, you put them on the outside. Same thing with waterproofing. Get it before it gets to the walls and address that, and it relieves the pressure that pushes on your walls. So.
Yeah, so something that makes you and what you do so different is your waterproofing system. Talk to me about the process and what has been working. Okay,
well, the multi-step that we have a patent on, we do outside. This picture here is one of our jobs that we're on the outside. We hand dig everything, put in drainage to get the water. Anything that falls next to the home is taken away. We do an interior system and then the ventilation, and it's all to protect your entire floor and your entire walls all the way around the home, and it does have a lifetime transferable warranty as well.
Wow. Okay, so we know that when you do have that wetness in your basement, or you have the water coming in and it's getting damp in the walls and it's creating just a multitude of issues, one of those issues is the air quality. No one wants to be breathing mold or black mold in, especially when your family's living there, when you have children in the home.
Exactly.
How can we find out if that's an issue, and what do you do to help?
Well, with our inspection, we actually do an air quality check. It'll tell you everything that's in the air, whether it's microtoxins, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, really anything that's in the air, and then we give you a printout of what we find. The 2 ways to take care of air quality, one is ventilation, keep the air moving, and the other one is get rid of the moisture, and we address all of it.
Yeah, for someone who has never really thought about checking their air quality or thought about possibly having mold or mildew in their home or their basement, what should someone know about hiring a company? Because there are a lot of companies out there, but they are all different and they don't do the same thing.
Yeah, and most companies that are in this industry have, if you go to their website, you can see what makes sense for your foundation, and for the air quality. Be sure to check them out on the Better Business Bureau. Look at their reputation, look at reviews. A lot of companies there's a lot of great companies and there's some bad ones. So you want to really do your homework and check it out and make sure the system that you're looking to do makes sense for the issues. If you have wall issues, you don't want to do a floor system. If you have floor issues, you don't want to do a wall system. So kind of, you know, look up on that. You can go to basementwaterproofing.com, and there's a lot of information that'll help make a good, solid choice as well.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know Rob, you don't like to pat yourself on the back. You don't like to boast about yourself or your company, but that's kind of what I want to do for a second. You mentioned the Better Business Bureau, and you mentioned making sure that you're hiring the right company to do the job and to bring the right people into your home. You have a lot of impressive accolades. Can you just share some of those with us?
Well, yeah, we do. We've been Better Business. I mean, we've been doing in business here for 30 years, and our Better Business Bureau, we have an A+ rating. We've actually won the Torch Award for Ethics twice. We won, we were nominated as a finalist 3 times besides that, and the online reputation that we have is impeccable. We take a lot of pride in what we do and what we do for our homeowners, and it shows by what they say about us.
Yeah, and the list goes on and on about those accolades, and part of that is about your warranty, and then you also love to offer our 8 West viewers specials. So you have a special for people that are watching now. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Mention 8 West, mention this segment. We'll take 10% off our waterproofing system up to $500. And it is a free inspection, so you feel free to give us a call, and we'll be happy to come take a look.
Yeah, we know we've been getting rain a little more often now than usual, so it's time to make that call if you think that you might have an issue. Thank you, Rob, so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.